Welcome to another episode of Don't Piss Me Off, where I go for a walk today. This time we're just gonna do a walk. We're gonna do a little different. We're gonna try a different thing today. And the one that I want to talk about is this thing in where Stephen A. Smith and everybody else is kind of like having this random conversation about Caitlin Clark and him ultimately admitting that he doesn't watch the sport. That's offensive to me. You can't speak on things that you don't know nothing about, right? How do you feel about a person who says he doesn't know or watch a certain sport, or the WNBA in this case, and can have a whole conversation about it without knowing anything about it? And the thing is, Alyssa, she deserved that suspension because what she did with Caitlin Clark was like unnecessary. But then to make this whole thing into something else weird is different. Like, the conversation should really be as a journalistic perspective that she ultimately, like, she's a dirty player, if that's the most you can get out of it, based on common, like, knowledge of the way journalists talk about players and non-basketball. But instead it goes to, like, this, like, everyone hates her racism thing that goes on. With Sophie Cunningham is brutal, too. Caitlin's not even, like, a nice player. She's like a brutal physical player. That's why I like Caitlin Clark. She's physical. She talk trash. She does everything else that everybody else do. It's kind of like the WNBA thing. To the point I even saw somebody literally tell us that why don't they just go to the Europe League or one of the other leagues overseas? I'm like, you do realize WNBA is probably the nicest league out of all of them? Are we having this discussion? They are literally the nicest league. But instead, because people don't watch or understand the sport they're watching, we get this whole conversation of people who don't know what they're talking about and don't really have like the ability to conversate or talk about these said things before making a bigger issue. And that's kind of what pisses me off, and don't piss me off, but this ability to make up these things and tell these stories that doesn't align with what's real. And that's probably what JB problem with Stephen A was, and all these other things in which we create these scenarios in which it's not real. It's just like scenarios in which we just come up with ideas and thoughts about something we have no clue about. And like I said, it's not even about CC or Alyssa, even though, like I said, Alyssa completely dirty play, and she has a habit of doing dirty things. With, as you saw with Angel Reese last year, she did said things to her, and it gets real physical with her. And you can argue that the WNBA should like figure out ways to tone it down, maybe more suspensions or something. It's like the Draymond Green of the WNBA in a lot of ways. It's crazy to me that he actually like can hold this opinion without ever, really ever paying attention or watching the sport he claimed he's talking about. To the point where they be like, she's jealous, or they're jealous of her because of some weird race thing. Now, you can also give me that she could be jealous because her and Angel Reese are really popular. And I'm like, okay, I can see that, if that's the area you want to go in. But it's weird narrative. Like, how could you speak on something you know nothing about? How could you so casually say that everybody's jealous of her when you don't know who else jealous? You haven't spoken about her since it started. The only reason you speak on her is at the same time in which you are literally conversating about the WNBA, because NBA is over. Baseball is kind of deep in the season, but no one cares. So these scenarios is created and narratives are driven by people who have no goodwill. They don't want the WNBA to succeed. They care nothing about the WNBA. They don't even care about Caitlin Clark. It's about ratings. It's about getting a name in. And that's all these people care about. To the point where it's like, I can't even enjoy the sports I love because everybody's trying to get a quick buck. Everybody trying to get quick attention. Everybody trying to create narrative, to the point they jump on the Caitlin Clark bandwagon versus Alyssa, in which there's a conversation there. And they make it about something that it's not. Like, they haven't even discussed her play. Cece's a good player. She's the third best player on the team to me, but you can argue that she's second. I won't argue second. She's not the best. Kelsey Mitchell the best. And then, like, using the fact that she wasn't in the top 30 list because they had a contractual obligation with some company they use that she licensed with too, I think. Yeah. Fact check me on that. I'm not always 100% sure. I saw paperwork about it that seemed official, but I don't want to just claim that. But yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this unfold. I'm watching Stephen A. admit to me he don't watch the sport. I'm watching people say they don't watch the sport. But I do want to give some of this. Manny Ocho, he watches, it seems like. I also see that Shannon Sharp and Ocho, they watch. I see a few other people, Jeff Teague, them, they watch the WNBA. So it's people that watch the WNBA that does a great job speaking on the WNBA. So it's not to everybody, it's just to set few people who use it as a stumping ground to manipulate and get ratings. Whereas the people who should deserve this, Nightcap, they are do a great job. T, even Acho, even though I like Speakeasy annoys me a lot of time. But Acho watches a little bit, so you can't be too mad at somebody that actually watches and can have a actual opinion. Like for instance, they have talked about Caitlin Clark's attitude, how she got benched. You notice who didn't? The NBA First Take. You notice who didn't? A lot of the other shows that now are talking about it. You notice who didn't? Skip Bayless. When she was playing bad, where were y'all? And this not just like an attack on her that playing, because she's like an up and down player. Because she's like I said, she's a really good player regardless, but she's kind of up and down. And I was just, so I want to know y'all thoughts. What y'all think about this? And don't piss me off, because you might get a video, man. I just want to do a little something different since I did music theory this week. I want to know how y'all like this. Is it like more kosher as I just do my exercises, or do y'all prefer me to stay in my room and do it from there? Y'all let me know, like and subscribe to the notification bell. Let me know who do you watch for sports take, because I'm finding it harder to find more and more people to talk about sports with, news, anything. Because I'm finding out everything is just narrative driven, clickbait. It's like Speakeasy again. I know I give them credit, but I also diss them in the same sentence. No offense to them, but they do a lot of clickbait stuff, and Shady it's hard to watch it. I do want to watch a Shady and Rashad McCants podcast of two dudes who just say whatever and just argue all day. That would be entertaining to me. I'll probably get tired of it and never watch it again though. So that's kind of defeat the purpose of it, but give it a shot, you know what I mean? I know sometimes y'all might not hate this dating. But let me know again, like and subscribe. Just don't piss me off a little. Just a one thing that pissed me off this week, so I didn't want to go too far. And I decided, let's do a walk with it. Let's do it together in a conversational way about one thing in the ethics, as JB put it, the ethics of the new style of talking. Because you don't talk about WNBA unless it's about Caitlin getting it. Not when Caitlin plays well, not when she plays bad, not when she's arguing. You only play when y'all can use like some weird race card or something, or jealousy card. Let me know, like, subscribe to the notification bell. Peace.